All right. All right. Welcome everyone to yet another edition of our awesome Hall of Healers interview. And today, I have with me one of a great, awesome client, Arjun ji, on this Hall of Healers interview. All right. Welcome. Sorry about that. Yet another edition of our awesome. Yes. All right. So let's. Sorry about the interruption there. Right. So we have Arjun over here. Arjun is a chief technology officer who is at a executive level and handles a lot of people at a managerial level as well. And he also has his own recording studio as well. So Arjun came with a lot of challenges he was facing regarding to his gut health and the mindset related to his weight loss as well when he came to us in the Just Self Healing Challenge. So today, I'm really happy for Arjun that he has made a lot of changes and a lot of transformations have come in. And let's hear it from Arjun today on what are the transformations he has got and what the challenges he faced, to get those transformations as well. So watch this video till the end and get inspired by Arjun. Welcome, Arjun, and congratulations for entering the Hall of Healers, Arjun.
Wow, thanks. Thank you, Sachinji. Thank you for having me. This is it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Arjun, for giving this time. Okay, I really respect that. So, Arjun, can you help me and the viewers understand over here that what were your major challenges in the terms of your gut health or the emotional health or the mindset before you joined the self healing challenge?
So I was primarily facing challenges around my weight, and I've had a journey where my weight started growing quite abnormally, and to a point where I'm considered morbidly obese. And what that led to a series of challenges that I didn't even know that I was facing. So I was just living a normal life, and I didn't even put up. I was even trying to understand the whole series of challenges. Right, today I'm able to say it is because of certain reasons. I was just facing, for example, long working days would lead to weeks of very downer mood in the entire day. I was feeling, I wouldn't say depressed, but I was feeling fairly down. I would end up indulging in activities which are not necessarily healthy. I would have late nights. My sleep was going down. I was sleeping an average of 1.5 hours to 2 hours a day. And that went on for 4, 5, 6 years or more, right?
Okay.
So sleep was one major challenge. Weight was one major challenge. That led to a lot of dynamics around in terms of the social life, in terms of how relationships work. So it was a compounded issue. I'm now able to say that as a compounded issue, but when I was going through it, it was not compounded. It was just one. Something was going off and nothing was coming right. It was just a frustrating heap of things going around.
So it's like a vicious circle, right? Once
Vicious
you
circle.
start like the sleep issue, weight issue, and then just like a downward spiral hits your productivity, hits your, the relationships aspect, hits your mental health aspect. It's like a downward spiral.
Right.
You put it very beautifully, like it becomes frustrated in heaps. I got that. I got your situation there, Arjun. So Arjun, so when you came to us, right? What made you trust me and self healers up? Because I understand there are so many options. And what made you trust us and jump into the self healing channel?
So before I answer that question, Sachinji, there was a small journey that I was going through just before I was able to be a part of this club. I was trying a bunch of fairly template solutions available. For example,
Right.
I was whenever I would try to express such problems to for example, a doctor or somebody who's would give me advice on how doing something would change something else. Right, I was going with the template where I tried fat diets for a long period of time, thinking that weight was solving my weight issue would solve everything else. I would try to. I ended up buying stuff that I didn't need, even as a response to trying to do a change.
Makes sense.
So this went on for a lot of years. until I started doing something known as KonMari, which was a technique for how to declutter your life. And in that process, I kind of begin to let go of everything I owned. And long story short, I reduced my wardrobe to just 7 clothes. So one dress for a day, and that went on for a few months. It didn't last long, but that was the starting of a part where, okay, less is more is where I was able to appreciate. And then I came across one webinar through you, and I attended it just like I would have attended any other webinar, as skeptical as I was, right? But I was kind of wanting to hear the whole journey. 2 or 3 things hit me directly in the initial conversation. I think what you were talking was fairly personal. It came from a place of, I understand. It came from a place of, you know what, I had a journey, and your journey also resonated with me personally, also because of the family history that I had, and situations at home, and things that happened with my mother, for example. All that resonated with me also, and I was able to appreciate that you came from a place of understanding, and you were not selling anything, to be honest. You were trying to give an idea. There was hope. And basically the message was, I remember that day when you said, if you gave your body the chance, 50% chance to heal, it would find its way to heal itself. I remember you said something to this line, right? And that kind of caught me, because it was not it wasn't products. It wasn't trying to, you're not telling me to buy 20 things to get better. You are trying to tell me that, hey, you have a life, you could probably do this better, and I'm here to guide, and there is a framework that we can work together. And it was not a generic framework also. It was not like, okay, go read this and get it done. It was not like that. You followed it through. Okay, the process was, let's talk about what your challenges were, let's talk about how your situation is. And it was almost, I would use the word guiding rail, because as I needed one step at a time, and that one step at a time meant that I needed one advice or one piece of thing for the next thing to happen. And I think you are able to give me that hope. I think it's about 1.5 years now, since the time I was joining. The first few months was, I can't even remember the person I was back then. It was that bad. I was visually darker, if I could say that. My face was a little darker. My face was very down. I was very fatigued. I was it's my routine hasn't changed much in terms of work or life, but I feel the whole that person that was there before and now is on a different path.
Okay, I understood. I really got you there, Arjun, when you said that, given half a chance, the body will heal itself, right? And when you said that, the guiding rail, that is very aptly put, right? That's what we're doing over here. It's not like we're selling some magic pill or some magic powder for you to, take it and you will be okay. No, and the guiding principles and the basics are always something which helps you, even if you have the worst kind of problems, or even if you are, in a situation where you feel like I don't know what to do. And honestly, that was a kind of situation you were in from what you have described till now. And it's really good to see that 1.5 years down the line, you're a completely different person and you can't even recognize that person. Right. So that's really, I acknowledge you for taking the coaching on and, taking the actions. I really acknowledge you from the bottom of my heart. So let's say, understand right now, what are the transformations which you are really proud of, which you see in your gut health, in your weight aspect and the sleep aspect, if you could share with that.
Yeah. So just follow-up thought on that is that I also like the way that you said, be accountable, and thanks for making me accountable. uh, I like the fact that I was able to, with my weight, to rely on somebody, that has a connotation. So just like the way you've acknowledged me, I wouldn't have been here without you. So I'd like to thank you for that as well.
Thank you, Arjun.
On the sleep piece of it, I tried to, first of all, I went through the course, right? The series of videos that you were able to share. I had struggles about how to finish it in time, but then when there were specific topics that really helped me. The
Mm.
first experiment I started doing was sugar.
Mm.
I wanted to experiment that how can I cut sugar in my life and see what happens. So I
Mm.
did a blood test before and I did a blood test after. So I did a 45-day blood test
Mm.
challenge,
Mm.
and I wasn't diabetic. Most of my blood reports came out extremely normal. And I cut down sugar, and the end of the sugar, it felt that I was on to the right path, right?
Wow, man.
And that was the first empirical evidence that I really had that I was onto something that really is working now for me, right?
Mm.
So, and there were several aspects in your in your teachings that you talk about health, you talk about sleep, you talk about how to keep your kitchen differently. You
Mm.
talk about biocomposting, for example.
Mm.
These are all I considered as personal projects that I wanted to indulge. So I started doing plants in my house. I wasn't successful. Most of my plants died in 6 months, but then I learned something out of it.
Mm.
Then I tried keeping different kinds of plants.
Mm.
Then I tried to do a kitchen activity which didn't work for me, honestly, but
Mm.
I tried, and I got a different learning there as well.
Mm.
And then slowly when I tried this, it started, I realized that my way of doing it was probably wrong,
Okay.
and hence I tried to do it one more time with a slight difference. And this time when I started doing it, and it felt like it was coming through easily. For example, I started working on this thing called the sleep project. I'm calling it the sleep project
Yeah,
myself,
got it.
right? So of the things I did, I removed all electronics from the room I sleep.
Mm.
I changed the curtains to blind, full black
Mm.
curtains, as in
Got it. So that you don't
uh,
get the light.
yeah,
Mm.
blackout curtains. I got it, and then there's no light.
Mm.
I ensure the temperature is slightly cool. These are
Mm.
all stuff which doesn't require to buy anything. You just have to make
Exactly.
sure you have what you have. And I removed all the clutter from the bedroom, and I made
Fantastic.
sure before I sleep I don't touch the phone for some time. I mean, it's not I can't comply with it all the time, but I try to do it as much. Then the most important thing is I took a project to change my working room from a bedroom to some other room.
Fantastic.
So, and that project really helped me. And slowly, when I did that, I was able to increase my 2 hours to three, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. And then eventually now my average is about 6 to 6.5,
Lovely, man.
which,
From 2 hours to 6 hours, that's
yes.
fantastic growth.
And, and to do that, I tried changing my eating habits also. I
Mm.
would eat few hours before dinner, and everything was an experiment. And I was trying to understand how my body felt to me. And
Listen to your body.
and that was I used to come back on the weekly sessions, and sometimes I used to miss a few weeks, but I used to come back with specific questions on what I can do. And
Mm.
every experiment that I was trying to do, I was trying it with a certain purpose. And more recently I started on this journey of fasting,
Okay.
which to my mind is the thing I'm really, really loving.
Awesome.
And it's been about 5.5 weeks now. I've been on the largely water fast and one meal a day, and that's given me a lot of positive indications over a period of time.
Fantastic, man. The most heartwarming things what you said about the 45 to 50 days blood test and your blood, in spite of your weight, the changes you are making were shown up in the body. You don't have any problems in the blood reports and, no diabetes also. That's fantastic. And sleep improved from 2 hours to 6 hours. Fasting improved and you're listening to your body, man. That's so important. That's the change we need to sustain it, Arjun. Exactly. Because you tried so many diets, you tried so many fad diets, but it didn't work. And now it's not like you're listening to your body and you're doing what works for you. It's like, compounding and giving you results again and again and again and again. And I do understand, that right now it take you around 1.5 years to do that, right? Again, that's very individualistic, right? And this transformation, what you have brought right now, if you look at it, if you look at an average weight loss, right? How much do you think you have, cut down on your weight? Like, if you like give a small rough figure.
With all my experiments, if I have to do it, I would have lost at least 15 kilos in total. And
Okay.
I because of the experiments, I would have gone up and down. But the most recent experiment that I've done, which after all the gains in between, I'm at 6.8 kilos for the last four, no, 30 days.
Fantastic. So initially like a 7 kg, but totally you would say you lost around 15 kgs.
Yes.
Fantastic, Arjun. Lovely, man. So, that brings me to my like final point. I want to like put this question to you, Arjun. Like the transformations have been huge from your side. So tell me one thing, why do you think it's so important for anyone, right, to invest time and money on their health? What's your view on it?
I think investing in health is not selfish. It's the highest rate of return that you'll ever get.
It's the highest rate of return, right? Yeah.
Right. So I think nobody imagines how they will function, how they when they are old. They are somewhere in the security of their youth and the current lifestyle of how they operate, right? And second thing is that I there is so many ways that we don't appreciate our body, and there are so many ways that we indulge in, for example, eating or practices, daily lifestyle choices. And it's almost daily routine is a living occupational hazard if you don't listen to your body and try to take some meaningful actions on this.
Exactly.
So it feels like you're navigating all these hazards, and some way or the other it's going to hit you. It's almost like daily running in high speed and high traffic. It is important to wear your safety gear. It is important to wear your way of life and enjoy the ride along the process, because ultimately we are here to live a life that we want to experience and fully function in both form and function, right? I feel these, if giving importance to health has a longer rate of return and higher rate of return, I think it's the best investment somebody can make. And for that, there are extremely well thought through guide rails frameworks such as yours, which are I feel it's applicable for many people, which I found personally very helpful. There are parts which are, I think you also come from a place of skepticism. You also appreciate, you put some things as yes and no, you are decisive, you are able to give a framework that is applicable for me. So I think it works. It works if I took the initiative to understand what you are trying to say.
Exactly.
You're not giving me the magic pill. You're telling me, here are 7 things that you can do. This could work for you. This may not work for you. You need to understand your work to get it done. So I like that approach for me.
Yeah, do what works for you is very important. And Arjun, you have, taken that on fully, and I really appreciate you. And, thank you for being connected. And, thank you for, I wish that you keep staying connected to see more and more compounded results. Just like your problems compounded, your results can also compound.
Yes.
Right. So right now it's time for compounding for you. Right. Arjun, I thank you for your valuable time which you've given today over here. And I hope that this video has inspired a lot of people who are watching this. And wishing you most and more in your health and your wealth, your happiness, your love and peace. Thank you, Arjun, for giving me this time. And if you're watching this video, you can always have a chat with us. If you look at the description of this video, you'll have a link that you can book a call with us. Right. And thank you again, Arjun, and more power to you.
Thank you. Thank you for everything you've been able to do, Sachinji.